What's good, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 38 of Hockey on the Spot. Not going to be a very long episode today. Today's episode, just going to go over some of the more updates that have happened so far, but also the main point of this episode today is to pay tribute to a loss that occurred exactly 1 year ago today, which we'll get into. But first, some updates around the league. Looking very close between Michael Bodker and the Phoenix Coyotes. Looking like that they're going to get a 2-year deal signed with him. And that's good because he was actually one of their better players last year. He took a real big step last year and can hopefully continue his strong development in Phoenix. Another re-signing that looks close to done, Nazem Kadri of the Toronto Maple Leafs, looking like that they're going to get a 1 or 2 year deal signed, or at least that is rumored. And it is a good thing that Kadri is willing to sign a bridge deal for now because, let's face it, just because he had one great year where he was second on the team in scoring does not mean he is instantly deserving of a $5 million 5-year or 5-year $30 million contract. No way, Jose. So I'm kind of glad that he is accepting to take a bridge deal, or at least possibly accepting to take a bridge deal. Things still far apart between the St. Louis Blues and defenseman Alex Pietrangelo. They want to sign him to the max of an 8-year deal, supposedly. So we'll see how that plays out with him and also Derek Stepan of the New York Rangers. However, one restricted free agent that was finally signed, Marcus Johansson has re-signed with the Washington Capitals to a 2-year deal worth about $4 million or $2 million average. I think I'm really happy that they got Marcus Johansson re-signed because let's face it, he really is a valuable part of their team. A guy who plays left wing naturally but can also play center and maybe, if need be, poses the third line center in DC. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see where he fits in, but he is a very valuable part of their team, and I'm glad they got a contract done with him. And then last but not least, a training camp invite, a new one. The Philadelphia Flyers have invited defenseman Hal Gill to training camp today. Hal Gill coming over from the Nashville Predators. And I actually do think it's a good move by the Flyers. It would be interesting to see if he does get a contract because they need a big body on defense now with Chris Pronger no longer in the lineup. Obviously, they have a couple of big prospects on defense, Oliver Lauridsen and Samuel Morin, both of which 6'6", Morin 202 pounds, Lauridsen 220 pounds, and then they got Braden Coburn back there, 6'5". So they got a lot of big defensemen back there, and Hal Gill can really add on to that. He's obviously the biggest of the bunch, big 6'7" blue liner. And a shutdown defenseman who plays a physical edge. Not getting any younger in this league, but I think it would be a great move for the Flyers to actually sign him. But again, he's invited to training camp. I really hope he accepts with the Flyers. I really do. Now, our main topic for today's episode, and our final topic as well. Today, September 7th, 2013, is the 2-year anniversary of the plane crash that involved the Lokomotiv Yaroslavl team of the Continental Hockey League. The plane crash that killed basically the entire team and kept them out for the entire season. Some great names on that plane crash, some former NHL players, but none greater than former National Hockey League forward, Slovakian-born center Pavel Demitra. That was probably the biggest loss of all in that plane crash. A great player in the National Hockey League. Obviously had his best years as a member of the St. Louis Blues, and a guy who's going to be missed throughout the National Hockey League. I really liked Demitra when he played. I liked his playing style, and I just liked him as a player and a person. He was such a nice guy. He is definitely going to be missed. A lot of guys were on that, but the guy that I personally am going to miss the most, that I still miss the most to this day, no doubt about it, is Belarusian-born defenseman Ruslan Saleh. Now, I'm finally going to reveal this. Yes, I am an Anaheim Ducks fan. I am a big Anaheim Ducks fan, and I live all the way in New Jersey. But um, I I love the Ducks. I really do. It's weird because I live all the way in New Jersey, but I'm a Ducks fan. I am. And Ruslan Saleh, when he played, was one of my favorite players. Um, I'll admit I wasn't a big fan at the time, but he was a guy that I knew of, and I loved the way he played, and I loved him as a player. Um, I was really saddened when he left the Ducks. He went to the Florida Panthers after that, then went to the Colorado Avalanche, another team that I'm really high on, and then ended his career with the Detroit Red Wings before going over to the KHL. Um, and he really was one of my favorite players in the league too. The way he played the game was a shutdown defenseman with a physical edge, um, and he really worked hard. Also, for those who may not remember, in 2003 he scored the overtime winner in Game 3 at the what was then called the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim against the New Jersey Devils. So that was a big moment for me and obviously for Ruslan Saleh, and I really do miss him. But I do miss other players as well. Even though he's the one I miss the most, that doesn't mean I don't miss some other players. I loved Karl Rakunik as a player. Um, my second favorite team is the New York Rangers, so that's how I know him, and I liked him a lot. I'm also know of Alexander Karpatsev, a member of that 1994 Rangers team. I miss him. Um, there are just so many guys from that plane crash that it really saddened me to see them go. Um, and so, rest their souls to the people who died in that plane crash. Rest your souls, rest in peace, and God bless you. So, that's pretty much all I have to say for this episode. That'll basically do it for episode 38 of Hockey on the Spot. This has been Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Thank you and have a great day.